As a result of the French Revolution, privileges were done away with, and rather than 3 different classes, there's a lot more equality. There's not a, taxes are now paid by the upper class as well as and the nobility, and with the third estate. In terms of economics, we have a much fairer tax system. So you see in the French Revolution, change, violent change. During the period before 1789, known as the old regime or the ancien regime, France was an absolute monarchy. People had no say in the government. There was a class system that existed which had privilege. There was an economic system that was an unfair tax burden on the third estate. And what caused the revolution was that France needed money. And at the time that it needed money, it tried to get the third estate to pick up the burden. The third estate refused. Violence broke out. And over the period of the period of time for the French Revolution probably ends with Napoleon in 1815. Okay? So the outcome, eventually, the absolute monarchy was done away with. Limited monarchy, which means the people had a say in the government. There was a monarch, but the people had a say. King couldn't do everything they wanted. Society, there was equality, privilege was dead, and in terms of economics, it was a much fairer economic system with more equality with taxation. Okay, stop it. Good. Okay, how'd that go? This is a physical map of the world, so there's no countries on here. And the first geographic feature, remember the geographic feature before so that goes, from the beginning of time up until 1500 AD. And the geographic feature that I recommend doing, it's fairly simple to understand, is the Nile River in the area of the area that became Egypt. If you look at the map, Africa, here's the Nile River. And I didn't do this on purpose, but interestingly enough, if you're flying over the area and you look down, guess what the color is? Green. Okay? Because this is brown and brown. This is desert, and other than that is the Nile River. So how did the Nile River affect people living in that area? Well, It floods every year. Here's where it starts, up here in the mountains, and it flows. Everybody thinks rivers flow north to south. This flows south to north. Right? Starts here, and every year, snow up here melts, goes, floods every year, brings fertile soil. Fertile meaning that you can farm on it. So every year, along the Nile, more and more good farmland comes in. The effect of this is good farmland. The earliest civilizations that we're aware of happened in these river valleys. Whether it's here in Egypt or the Tigris and the Euphrates up here, right? Over here by India, and over here in China. We're talking about this guy here, not the Nile River. So every year more soil comes in, fertile soil. If you're surrounded by a desert and there's good soil, this fertile soil attracts people. Why would it attract people? Good farming. More people move into an area and they settle down. This is kind of the Neolithic period. They're not nomads anymore, they're settling down. People get together. We see the development of governments. So the earliest civilizations happened in river valleys. You have a government, that government makes laws. You get a system of writing, hieroglyphics, which was in Egypt, cuneiform, which was up here in Mesopotamia. And you also end up with merchants. If you have religion, you have priests, farmers, you have peasants. So that's